talked about moving Dalano around in different spots on the court, and I think you probably got that accomplished tonight. What did you think of the way he handled that?
He played another good game. Good to see. I thought the kind of group Dalano, Thad only played, but that little Wancho, that little group did a decent job, tonight off the bench. And he, again, I thought he made some good reads, took it to the rim when it was open, kicked it out, for shots when it wasn't. And probably just in general, pretty happy with the way we moved the ball tonight. We didn't get a lot to show out of it. We didn't make a lot of the things, but the ball was moving probably best it has been in the preseason, so that's a good sign.
You said Thad didn't play, 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
He had a great pass on a fast break to Dalano, made a corner three. Is that the kind of contribution you expect from him in the role he's going to have with this team?
Yeah, and he's a pretty good settling kind of force out there, I guess. Is he understands, kind of exactly what position he's playing, if that makes any sense. Like, he understands if the five's on him, then he is involved in the handling and the screening and things like that. And if it isn't, he knows to get on the perimeter and things like that. So that part of it really helps, I think, because sometimes things are happening so fast. But to have one kind of veteran guy that understands the feel, I think again he can guard, and he can post a little bit, and he can knock down the three if they leave him, or he seems to find his little area, a couple times a night. And he's certainly going to play a lot more than 5-6 minutes that I've been playing him in the preseason. He gets one little stint every game just to keep him oiled up, I guess, keep him moving. And but we're trying to, as there's a few guys. I think him and Wancho had a long summer, not trying to give him too much as well. And even Dalano probably could play more, but he also had a fairly long summer, and his minutes were just kind of keeping him right there for now.
What do you think of Gary's stint with the second?
Gary was good in general, I thought, right? I thought the best thing was he made some really good passes, all over, inside, outside, drawing, defenders and finding the next play in front of him, which was good. And he also, just kind of turned out that way that he ended up with that group, right? And then, but it's good, it's good to see and kind of figure out, who, kind of where the ball can go through at different times in the stages, late in the first quarter, early second, et cetera. And that's, that's kind of why we keep kind of tinkering around with it a little bit. Yeah.
Back to Dalano, I know with young players you're always talking about stringing together productive games. It's still early, but is that sort of been encouraging from Dalano to see from game to game that level of consistency?
Yes, it sure has, right? I think the big thing is he just looks so comfortable out there. Right, there just doesn't look like he's playing at the tempo he wants to play at, and I think he's again doing a little bit of everything. Not only at the offensive end, I think he's playing in transition. He's running the team pretty good. He's executing the sets, those kind of things. But he's really been good at the defensive end, right? He's really noticeable, getting his hands on the basketball and poking it away or reaching in from the weak side or whatever and stripping one away. He's done a good job, I think, using that length. And he also has, really good instincts about where the ball's going, maybe a little bit ahead of time, right? So he can get his hands on them. So that part's been good to see. His defense and his kind of on and off the ball success.
Do you notice a change in his level of command of the ball? I know last season there was a lot of talk of him being a better communicator and kind of running the offense in that way. Do you see that?
Just, I think in general, like I like the decisions he's made when to push. I've liked the communication that he's had to get the rest of the guys into sets. Organizing them and he's done some of that on his own. We've called some of the plays, but he's done some of it on his own, and he's making really, he's getting the right pieces in the right place, at a free throw or something like that. So, again, just a nice level of confidence and looks more comfortable out there.
You mentioned Wancho a minute ago. We haven't seen him play very much because he hasn't played much. But what have you learned about him as a guy and as a player in these 2 weeks? Like, we don't know much about him.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he knows how to play, Doug, right? He really understands, spacing, cutting, moving the ball quickly onto the next play, all those kind of things. Knows where to space on the perimeter. Starting to learn that he is a good one of those good set play guys. Like when you call a play and it's for him and he gets it, that him knowing he's supposed to shoot helps him. I notice that a lot for the Spanish team too, right? Yeah, they run some bunch of sets for him. And he come flying off there, no thought about it. He can just take it. So that's one thing. And then he's been really good off the ball as a defender. He knows where he's supposed to be, and he helps and long enough to go grab a couple tough rebounds and things like that. So we're still learning him a little bit, but I think we're getting there.
Fred's shot hasn't quite been falling so far in the preseason. He talks about how he doesn't really learn anything from preseason. Do you ever worry about him at this time of year? Or is it just like, all right, when the season starts, he'll be good?
Well, I don't think you worry. I mean, I would say that the body of work, him and OG, right, puts them. I don't know exactly, but probably the 38 to 40% range in the body of work. So I would imagine again, it's and I think they both had a lot of good looks tonight too. It's some getting the rust off, getting in shape, getting all the things going. But I think those guys' body of work, over the last couple of years speaks for itself, and I'm sure they'll continue that body of work when it's for real.
What have you seen out of Dalano lately?
Again, I think we talked about it a little bit in camp. He just seems to be getting more comfortable with the reads, with the speed of the game. Obviously, I mean, it's going to be hard for a 6'9" point guard to not have success in the NBA just with the size and the lanes that are available to him, being able to finish around the rim. He's getting more comfortable with a jump shot. So he looks like a guy that's taking that step and, feels like a guy that's ready to crack the rotation.
Where have you seen the biggest difference in camp here compared to a year ago?
I think just having a feel for the game and, some young guys, the game is moving really fast, and you could see that sometimes they get sped up or just not having the right feel on passing and the lanes and how quickly those lanes close. So it just looks like he's reading the floor a little bit better in his second go around, and we hope to continue to see him take strides there.
How's your game?
How was my game?
How was your game? You developing? Is your game coming along? As a good at training?
You tell me. I'm not great at myself anymore in front of you guys. Yeah, you got. Hey, thanks, Doug. But you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's a process. It's a process, and again, every year you have your own greatest scale or trajectory of where you want to be. It's very early. I would like to. I think I have my own goals for this season, and where I am now, I'm surely not playing my best. But who really cares at this point, right? My body's feeling good. I got a new body. I got to test the wheels out a little bit and shake the rust off. And again, we want to be playing in April, May, and June, and I want to be peaking at the end of the year and not in October just to please you, Doug. So I'll get there.
You did get a little bit more run with the starters tonight in the third quarter, even.
Yeah.
Is that important to build during this preseason again?
Yeah. Again, you're just trying to build up. You know what I mean? I thought the way camp went and the way my body was feeling, we've done a lot of traveling. So the Utah game wasn't really a huge priority. Taking one in Houston was just a matter of where I was feeling physically, and again, just trying to pace this thing out and be at my best. And my date has always been October 19th. And so working up to that date to try to feel my best to get this team where it needs to be. We're it's a journey, and when we say that, it's not just a phrase. It's not always going to be pretty, and certainly hasn't been pretty at all for us so far. But I'm confident that by the end of the season we'll be where we need to be.
You just changed tracks. I'm sure you saw the Draymond Green situation in Golden State.
Right.
What do you think about the team chemistry issue and how that either ruins it, that kind of stuff? And you guys seem to have always a bunch of guys who get along. How important is that kind of stuff?
Well, first, I'm on the record. I like to mind my business. It's not anybody's business. I know it became public, which is a shame. So I'll let them worry about that. But just generally speaking, I think you never really know what you got until you hit some adversity, and you would not like that adversity to come from within. Most of the time you deal with it internally. But again, it's gonna. We'll see. We'll see. I think for our group. It's just a matter of ironing things out, seeing how we can continue to get better and grow. We got a lot of different tracks and, a lot of different talent growing at different paces. And it's a funky group sometimes. You got to put it together and see, what's best for the team. So I'll let them worry about that. But, just unfortunate that it became public and, the whole world has an opinion on it now.
Personality fit has always seemed to be a big deal with the Raptors.
Right.
Is it important in the locker room?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, you have to give credit to management and coaching staff. They have their hands full in terms of putting together a locker room that works before we even step on the court. I think we've done a good job of building that back up. It feels more like a Raptors team now. I know after the championship you had to, find the best available, but it seems like we got more of our picks and our guys and guys that fit the mold, and we have to continue to grow that, and the best way to do that is to come in, work every day, and win ball games. And if you win games, everybody's happy.
You said you are testing out this new body. How do you feel now compared to this time last year? Is it totally different, or?
Yeah, it's a different approach. But again, I can't really grade it or say where I'm at other than it's a work in progress, and I feel good. So.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I know, but I don't really want to tell you. So I'm trying to find the right way to say it. But I think, again, there's a way to there's different philosophies and different opinions on whether you come in shape or you use the beginning of the season to get in shape or whatever the case may be. And I'm not going to tell you where I am. But, again, the end of the season, playoffs is all of our goals in here. And I think being at our best towards the end as a team and individually is the way to do it.
You've talked a lot about how you're kind of ironing things out, but as a spectator and player, what have you liked so far about this preseason?
Nothing. It's preseason. It's my 7th one, but I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to be in the NBA still. I still feel that way. I'm appreciating the work every day, but it's definitely been a grind. So I think we're seeing some flashes. Seems like we got some young guys coming off the bench and, some new additions that can help us. I like the way Juancho's look. Dalano's had a good camp. So, again, it's not really too much to be excited about this early in the year. I think we got our sights, set a little higher this year and, continue to keep working and push for the end of the year.
Hey, Dalano, where do you feel the biggest difference in your game from where you were a year ago?
I definitely feel like just confidence-wise, I feel like just the guys out there just trusting in me to do what they believe I do well out there, and just definitely the playing over the summer, having a lot of games through summer league, through playing at Rico, then through playing in Brazil with the Team Canada team. I just feel like a lot of live reps throughout the summer just got me going, and I'm just gonna continue running with it. My confidence is there, so I feel like with these guys just looking for me in my spots and helping me play to my strengths and just trusting in me and being there for me as a young guy. It's been great and it's been good for my development.
Nick mentioned that experience at the America Cup earlier in camp when he was giving you a lot of credit for your first few practices. How much do you feel like that transferred over here into this camp?
Definitely a lot. When we first talked about it, I was all for it. I'm like, I always wanted to play for Team Canada. It's not even a question. So I was very grateful for the opportunity and, just trusting in the development of the Raptors, just believing in what they have for me, believing in the process that I've been going through. And, I've been seeing the results, but it's been great. Just that call, I feel like it helped me a lot, helped me in the long run, and it's helping me now. So, and definitely just to play against different competition over there, guys being a lot more aggressive on defense, getting away with a lot more fouling and stuff, definitely opens up the floor for you when you play here, and, it's less like on-ball contact and stuff like that. So over there, they're very physical. Over in Brazil, man, they foul a lot and stuff like that. So definitely toughens up your game, toughens up your handle, a lot down the line, playing against those guys who play very hard every possession. So.
Would you say that that is the main experience? There's so many opportunities for you to get multiple means of reps. Was that the one that you think probably took your game a little bit further? Was it the runs, summer league? What would you say?
I would just say all of it together. I wouldn't be able to say, but I feel like from summer league, practicing with the guys, and then going into summer league, and then from summer league to playing in the runs with Rico, I feel like I took a jump there, and then again from Rico to playing with Team Canada. So I just feel like just continuing to get live reps, wherever that is. I wouldn't be able to say which one was the best, but I feel like just the whole development program that I've been going through with the Raptors, everything that I've been doing with games through the summer or like workouts or runs through the summer, I just feel like it's been helping me all the way. So, I'm all here for it, and I'm just putting my head down and continuing to, enjoy the process and trust in it.
This time last year, a lot of the talk with you was about, bulking up and getting a little bit bigger for the season. Have you sort of leveled out? Have you found that perfect sort of playing weight and playing size, or are you still trying to?
No, definitely not. There's always room for improvement. Just definitely working with Johnny Lee and our training staff here. Just continuing to get my body right. Trying to put on more weight still. But just continuing to try and get my body right, continue to work. But no, I haven't yet. Still trying to get to that point where I feel like I'll be good. Just trying to put on some more mass for myself and be able to pick my spots a little better out there.
Put on some, and you played like you've adapted to it pretty well, right? I mean, you're carrying it as well as you did like the previous one.
Yeah. I just feel like just being able to pick my spots regardless of like the weight, but just still trying to get stronger, man. I feel like just being a slim guy, whether if I'm frail or you could see it, just as long as I'm getting stronger and being able to use it out there and be able to control my body and stuff like that, I feel like I'll be all right.
There were stretches last season where you were in and out of the rotation. What kind of feedback are you getting from Nick and some of the coaches in terms of what you need to do to not only get one of those spots, but to hang on to that spot for the season?
Well, just going in from all practices and from knowing our game plans going into the games, man, just playing to our pillars. I feel like very defensive-minded coaching. So I'm just getting to my spots, getting to my gaps, being able to do the little things out there to help, our all-NBA guys. We have a lot of guys on our team, Pascal, Freddie, OG, Scotty, Gary. So it's being out there, being able to do the little things first, like rebounding, crashing the offensive glass. We love offensive rebounds. Just trying to do the little things first and then play to my strengths where I know I could pick my spots. I know I could run in transition, playing stuff like that. But just definitely trying to do the little things in order to get into that rotation. Just play gritty, play hard, play tough every time I'm out and try and change the pace when I get on the floor.
How much of a push was it to see that once the season ended, everybody just immediately got right to work and the connections and conversations you were having with the team in the offseason, do you think?
Can you say that again, sorry?
Just the push that I think everybody had collectively this offseason to just get back in the gym right away and get back to work. How much did that motivate you to keep going?
Oh, a lot. Just even coming before the offseason, coming into the gym, seeing Pascal, Freddie, like the first guys always in there. Like, a lot of the guys say this when they come up. I watch their interviews as well. Like Pascal, those guys being the first ones in there, man. You just want to kind of match their work ethic. So, just them leading by example, like from every day during the season, whether it's like load management, whatever you want to call it, those guys put their work in. So we knew what it was going to be off season, same type of work, even more work. So everybody just kind of runs with it. And, with those guys calling everyone together to be in LA, and it makes it a lot easier for, to do workouts and stuff like that all together and link up for like runs and stuff at Rico. So when everyone's doing it collectively and, it's kind of like a domino effect and it just falls into place for everybody else.
Have you had a chance to catch your breath? Like, there were stretches last season where you were playing like almost every day, up and back and forth between the 905, and it doesn't sound like you had much of an off season in terms of an actual break. Like, do you feel that, or you just fortunate to have those reps?
I'm young and I'm loving it, man. Whenever I get an opportunity to play in a live game or a live whatever, man, I'm all for it. I'm just continuing to try and build to have a long career in the NBA. So, just putting in that work, getting a lot of live reps, taking away from workouts and trying to apply that into games is going to be big for me in my development.
A lot of your half-court success is based off of get actions and DHOs and re-screening pick and rolls. I'm curious, is there a player you kind of model your attack based off of that, or is it looking at your own film and seeing advantages you could take care of? How do you improve in that because you've succeeded in that together?
I wouldn't say there's like a player I modeled it after. Just watching a lot of players growing up, but kind of just watching film, knowing where to pick your spots and knowing the offense. I feel like playing for Coach Nurse, trying to get a lot of things going through the offense and not trying to break plays. just being like a role guy. You can't be out there breaking plays whenever you want. So just kind of try and find myself within the offense, whether that's off a DHO or like a touch action or whatever. So just kind of try and find my way through that and trying to learn to do that in order to help my team and do whatever we can to win.